Good evening everybody, and a warm welcome to Barringer on this Sunday evening. And I have a layout update for you and some new recruits as well. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So firstly, one of the new recruits to Barringer is this kind of modern moving my layout forward a bit in terms of years and vintage, is this Class 57 in the Direct Rail services, and it's the pride of crew. And this is kind of going along the theme of my Class 37 in Direct Rail services, and also my Class 150 in the Arriva trains livery, in terms of modernising the layout and bringing it forward a few years. And it's kind of like I'm fancying a lot of these new modern stuff, and I like some of the newer liveries, and I've always kind of thought, well, it's not really within my era and all the rest of it, but I've kind of decided to sort of almost go, what the hell. So I've always liked this 57, and I was lucky to get hold of it. It is 57309, the pride of crew, and it arrived yesterday. I picked it up before I went to work and I test run it, and there was a slight flaw with it when I got it, but I bought it online, so I didn't really want to send it back, because basically what happened is one of these metal grids on the top had basically come away from the body. So I'm not sure how Batman passed that quality control bit, but when I took it out, it was sort of attached but very loosely, and then on the course of putting it on the track, it popped off. However, I just thought to myself, of the hassle of having to send it back and the postage and all the rest of it, when I could just easily just tack it in myself. As long as I did it carefully, I could get it on without damaging the body, and you wouldn't really know which side it was. And in truth, that's exactly what's happened. I've popped it back on. I've done it really carefully. And to be honest with you, I don't actually know which side it is now. That was how good a job I did. I wasn't quite sure which side it's popped off. Luckily, I was a bit worried about marking the body, but I've got away with it. I just loosely did it, and didn't fiddle about with it. So now it's perfectly fine, and it runs like all the Batmans do. I was a bit disappointed in the fact that it did come a bit like that, but however, all is well now, and I'm extremely happy to have it on my layout. And it's another option to run with my nuclear flask terminal, which is really taking pace. So we're going to move on to that now. So here we are at the Morwood Nuclear Flask Terminal, and I thought I'd show you this view first of all, and this is the view coming in, and directly ahead of you is the Class 47 in rail freight grade, which you'll see shortly. But what I wanted to show you is actually to the left you can glimpse the scratch built factory or warehouse unit that I've just built. I did it, I think it was over the last couple of days. I did a few hours last night, and I did another few hours today, and it's finished. Well, virtually finished. It needs a bit more weathering, but it's near enough there. The essence is there, and that's kind of what I've been working on. And it's made by these Wills sheets that you can buy in packs of 4. As you can see probably on the bottom, there's also a little brick lining right on the very bottom of it, so that kind of pops through. And what I'm going to do along here is I'm going to put some bushes along here, and probably a fence as well, and a speed restriction sign. And this, well, from the view where you're looking at it from, is where the bridge would be. So I haven't finished, that's the first thing to say, I haven't finished the actual nuclear flask, so there's still more work to do. So as you can see, that's how it comes. Now what I've done here is, if I just sort of show you, it actually just fits in with the layout. I've cut the factory in such a way that it just follows the layout, just so it can fit in this space. And if you look at it like that, that's kind of how it looks like. And it's just made out of plastic card and wheel sheets and stuff like that, and card, that's all it is. And as you can see, it's just kind of like a focus of putting the lorry here, so you can sort of see how it kind of works. My DAF is there. Now this door, the warehouse shutter I should say, is slightly oversized. And the reason for that is I'm just going to put this down for a little while, because then I have to stabilise the camera. Is basically this point, there's a point here, and I was actually going to put a diamond crossing on here, and I was actually going to put another little railway sliding in there to have a couple of VDAs or something like that I could put in there, or something like that to demonstrate it's like a cargo. But it turns out that the actual slip was much bigger than the actual space I'd had already previously allocated, and for the amount that I'd have to pay for it, I couldn't really justify it. So I decided to go down this route. So I've done the sort of first initial stages of scenery, which is basically just layering the ballast in the track, just laying the original, the first sort of sprinklings of fine turf and fine soil. It is earth and soil colours that I'm using, and this is like a concrete paint, and I'm going to do another coat on this as well, and with a stippling effect to create a concrete effect. If I take you along here, it's basically the ramp's been blended in. As you can see, there's the ramp. You can still see a line, but it's nothing major. It's not like the lorries can't. It's not a steep thing or anything. The Leyland road train that's there is just sort of to represent where the gantry is going to go, because the gantry is going to go up and over, which I've started building. It's still in the process of being built, but obviously building the warehouse unit has taken me a few nights to do. I don't know if I showed you this before, but I've put a fascia as well, just to neaten it off. So that's how it kind of all looks. So that's now got a nice fascia attached to the front of that, so it doesn't just don't see the end of the wood, just like that. And if you just sort of try and pan out a bit, just so you can have a sort of look of how it is, how the layout looks. And basically another couple of the recruits that I've managed to pick up is this Volvo DL. I think it's a 240, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's an estate DL, fits well into my 80s themed when I do that. I've got the Escort, which I showed you briefly, and I've also managed to pick up this sort of Ford Transit, well, Ford Courier Connect I think it is they call them, Ford Connect. The thing is with this, it's actually, again, this is also in keeping with the kind of DRS locos that I've bought and the Arriva trains ones that I bought. It's kind of to update the layout. So this is kind of my first vehicle to really sort of bring the layout kind of up to date if I wanted to do sort of more modern running session type thing. So I could do it like that. So I'm picking up a few bits and pieces here and there. I do actually like them, and there's another Network Rail one and Royal Mail ones and stuff like that I really do like. So I just like this little Connect van. I think it's really cute. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to still make it more rougher by putting some more foliage, more turf, coarse turf more than likely, to make it more rougher. We're also going to put some more put some static grass in there, some bushes, basically just to make it more rough and ready. Also we're going to obviously I've got to do the back wall there along there, and I've also got to do the security fencing. That's the word I was looking for. So there's still a fair amount to do, but we're moving forward, and that's always good. And I can see it coming along. I like the patchiness of it. You can see like the patches, that some areas are lighter than others, and it's just really patchy. And that's just to sort of try and reflect the sort of unkept kind of sort of first layer of it all. I mean, like I said, once you start putting the bushes and the weeds and stuff like that on there, and turf and everything, coarse turf on there, it's just going to look kind of rougher and more unkept. So to be more in keeping with sort of how it is in terms of it's a lightly used yard, although probably in truth I will probably end up using it probably more often than it would be used in real life, I suppose. But I've got plenty of options rolling stock wise in terms of for the nuclear fast terminal. I was hoping to put the double slip here, but in any way I've kind of decided that I was going to still make use of this corner and create it like a bit of a yard corner. because what I was hoping to do is, like I said, put the point here and maybe sort of use not only use this yard for the nuclear side of it, but also to have a couple of speedlink wagons to be parked up in here. But unfortunately, just the expense of it and the space. I mean, the diamond crossing, I mean this is quite a big point here, and I've put that there deliberately so the bigger locos aren't going to struggle to get around that curve. So I didn't really want to put a tight point in there, but the actual slip itself was probably didn't come out to about there or something. So that means that the crossover will be further up and it'd be more awkward anyway. So I couldn't really, not only could I not justify it, but it just wasn't workable. But by not having it, I've just created this other warehouse type of thing where I can have a lorry here instead and use it for another purpose. But if you just sort of take a look at this building, you can just see how it just sort of fits in within the confines of the layout. And I'll lift it up so you can have a closer look at it. And like I said, I just quickly knocked this up over a few nights. It's basically, you can see it's got that little lip down the bottom of brickwork along there, which is just some plastic cards that I had left over, and so I used that for the lip there. And then this is just only one pack actually, which just cost me, like I said, it's cost me $350 and $350 for the roof, because this is like one pack, because you get 4 sheets in a pack. So that was one pack to do the cladding on the front, the main body. The roof was also one pack, so that was another $350. This was odd bits of plastic card that I had knocking about. The actual shutters was just a piece of card which I've scored with a knife and then painted over. And then the back is just, again, just card that I've just had, that big piece of card, and I've just sort of cut it in such a way that it just fits the layout. Anyway, so that's about it for the layout update. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, then thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing your comments as usual, and I will speak to you all soon. So thanks for watching, please feel free to comment and subscribe, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.